The last one was the winter tour, right? So it was cold. So this kind of didn't happen. It was freezing cold. Are you looking at my split ends? We could just, Sandra and I could just throw in a Clairol herbal essence thing. We could both just start screaming. And sell it to Clairol for a lot of money.
I'll just give you the cue.
Settle down, Stevie.
No, don't settle down. Stir it up.
You don't want to say too much, you know.
Honey, say it all.
Yeah.
Oh, honey, don't be precious about the outdoors, candles, and the...
I was going to also mention, you know the potpourri stuff that we like, somebody spreads around and puts on everything?
Yeah.
That has to go.
Honey, it's not a
Because
potpourri,
I sit
but
cups
someone-
down on it and they spill. You know, things, it's like stepping on cords.
I don't want to delay too much.
No, I don't either.
Sandra says, I have places to go for people to see.
I just don't want my water to break in the
Yeah,
middle
really.
of the interview.
We need to have her close to us.
No, I got a ways to go.
Your worst nightmare is to be stuck with me somewhere and have that baby. Ah, you can't do this
Why?
now.
You couldn't handle it?
Oh my God! Yes, I could handle it.
Of course you
yes,
could.
I could absolutely handle
What
it.
if I was going to invite
yes,
you to cut the cord?
If it was necessary, I could absolutely do it. I would be
Now,
probably. I would
Honey,
be
I
probably.
knew that was just a matter of time. That's what I don't want that there, honey. Thank you.
I would be stricken afterwards, but I would be okay in the lurch. You know, I would be there for you. You'd lose me
Steven's
after.
my coach.
You would lose me after,
He's going
but
to be in the room with me.
you'd have to get a limousine to take me to the hospital too. She needs some rest.
So anytime you guys.
Okay.
Sandra.
All right.
We've been doing. Oh, I thought the interview was over. We just talked about
We're outta
everything we
here.
were really interested in talking about. Oh, are you ready? Oh, great, fabulous. MTV is ready. It's incredible.
We are ready for MTV.
Hey, baby. The concert rocked.
Thank you, Sandra.
I mean, this has been such an incredible year for me because I'm pregnant, and I've seen you with Fleetwood Mac, and I've seen you solo, and my baby has heard you. So it's like, I know it's just going to be something magical and fabulous that's going to happen when the baby's born.
Know my voice.
Yes, and crave
To hear me.
to hear
And
you.
buy my
Oh,
records.
And your box set. How's What's happening with
we
your
should
box
have one
set?
here.
Why don't we have your box set, for crying out loud?
Because we don't have one.
No, on
Do we?
tour with
We
you?
don't.
All right, well, everybody
We do.
knows that Stevie has her box set out and that it rocks. It has your whole compilation of all your solo albums.
My
Right.
work, my solo work, yeah.
Your oeuvre complet,
Yes.
which is so amazing.
My coup de grace.
No, honey, you haven't reached that yet. You're on your way, but
Right.
nowhere near.
Right.
We're a work in progress. The show was great. How did you feel tonight? Because I saw you before the show and you were a little bit nervous, which was...
You know, I'm always really nervous. If I wasn't nervous, if I walked in and was totally blasé and just was happy and smiling, I think that would be time for everybody to worry, because I kind of have to go through that kind of bitter, tormented 20, 30 minutes before. And as much as I hate it, like, it's not there now. I'm okay now.
Right.
But before the show, when I saw you, it was there. And at that point, I'm not feeling good. And at that point, I'd like to just go home. So
I
I have to
I
kind
don't
of, you know.
believe that for a
Well, no,
minute.
it's an overwhelming feeling. It's why some people don't do this.
Right.
Except that I can manage to get through it to the minute when I walk out on stage, and then I'm okay. Then everything's fine.
So once you're out there,
Then it goes away. That whole physical nauseous feeling just goes away. Thank God. If it didn't go away, I couldn't do this. And I think maybe for some people that can't tour because they're too nervous, that's what happened. It doesn't go away.
well, you rise above it, and the crowd went completely insane. What about when they rushed to say, I was hoping you were going to, like, jump into the mosh pit at the very end. I was kind of disappointed. I thought you were just going to throw yourself.
Throw myself out there. Well, you know, in another time, I may have thrown myself
I
out.
think by the end of this tour, you're going to.
It's because I'm not afraid that anybody would drop me, you know. I know it would be okay.
Oh, you
It's
know
like
that they would
it's-
support
yeah.
you and love
Yeah,
you and give back all the
absolutely.
love that you give.
And so all the, like, the ex-grunge people would say, wow, look, she's being passed around the audience.
Stevie
It
is
would be
a
okay.
true rocker. But you've created a whole genre. I mean, you're one of the founding mothers of rock and roll. And then you see all these young girls coming up. What's the advice? What would you tell some of these girls? The Alanis Morissette, Fiona Apple-esque, Lilith Fair chicks, you know? I mean, it's a rough road to hoe. Do you think most of them will stick around?
Some of the girls, and I say that really lovingly when I call them the girls,
Of course
you
you
know,
I'm
It'll
personally
all,
insulted.
it
but-
will all depend on which ones of them want this bad enough. A friend of mine said to me a couple days ago, it finally hit her that she was thinking, I'm going to do music too. And she said it finally hit her that she wouldn't die if she didn't do it.
Wow.
And that's how you have to feel about this business.
Absolutely.
You have to say, I would die if I didn't do this. That's how serious it is to me. So I think the ones that will die if they don't do it will be around in 20 years.
Right.
The ones that it isn't that important to, it will make them a lot of money, they'll have a lot of fun, and they'll go into something else. They'll get married, they'll start to have children, they'll start a family. Things will change for them. Because as women, we kind of get pushed out of our careers for those reasons. So the ones that really care about it won't do that. And that won't be all of them. It can't be. It'll be a few.
Right. So you feel like you can walk that fine line of having relationships and having a family and still be able to be completely committed? Or do you feel you couldn't do it?
No, I couldn't.
Why is that?
Well, if you, like, look, this is so interesting you would say that. Look back over my life since last April 1st. Not the one that just went by, but before that.
Right.
We went into rehearsal for the Fleetwood Mac, The Dance. May 25th, we filmed it. We rehearsed all summer. We went on the road in September. We got back December 1st. I started working on the box set, also staying working with Fleetwood Mac, doing the Brits, a German TV show, going to Europe, going to New York twice, doing the David Letterman show. So Fleetwood Mac was still working. I was also putting together the box set. Now, really, how many people can just say, oh, great, bye, great, and be left behind all those times? And for me, in my business, when I'm out here on the road, if you don't have a job, after a couple of days, you should go home.
That is genius.
Because it doesn't work if you don't have anything to do out
Right.
here. You have to have a real function, and then everybody gets along great.
Yeah.
But so to bring a boyfriend or a husband out here and have them have to like get out of the way and, you know, and stay, all the girls are here and stay out and don't walk in and knock, and it's like, it's very hard. It would take an incredible person to be able to deal with that life. And I don't want to change my life. I like it.
Right on. Right on. Have you had anybody come close to that, though? Like with Lindsay, I mean, you guys were working together,
Well, that,
so...
you know, that was, Lindsay and I were as close to married as I'll probably ever be, because we really were married. We lived together for 5 years.
Right.
I took care of him. I cooked for him. I ironed his jeans. I embroidered stars and moons on them. I adored him.
That was
I took care of
divine.
him.
Will you come
So,
and do
you
that
know,
for me?
that
please?
was, Sandra. So you know what I mean? That
Please
was like
embroider something for
she
me.
wanted jeans. So that was a great thing. But we also had the same job. We were like this duo, you know.
Right.
And our job was the same job. So at least we went to the job together. We came home together.
Exactly.
This is not, who else am I going to find to be like a duo in my music that I really respect, really think is really talented, really want to sing with every day, and want to spend my life with?
Well, there's very few. No.
It's not an easy thing. So, you know, I don't look at it as a scary thing. I look at it as, you know, if somebody's going to come in my life, they will. If it's not, then God didn't mean me to do that. You know, then He just meant me to come here and sing songs and make people happy. Maybe that's my mission, you know.
So you're cool with it?
I'm cool with it.
You feel good, you
I
feel
do.
complete. You're not looking for somebody to complete you or finish off the rough edges. That's fabulous. That's an incredible place to be. And you just had your birthday.
I just had my 50th birthday.
We're putting no limitations on you.
And
it's a
right,
number, because
right.
you look gorgeous.
And I did
You're-
hear, I have to say, I heard somebody was interviewing Madonna the other day, and they said, will you still be doing like Material Girl when you're 50? And of course she said, well, no, you know, I won't, because it's the same thing that if somebody had said to me, will you still be doing Stand Back when you're 50? I would have said, probably not. The fact is that it's interesting what you can still do when you reach a certain age. It's all up to you. If you don't want to be able to do it, then you can't.
That's
But
right, you're putting total
then you can also
limitations.
turn around and say, what else would I do? You know, there's nothing else that I love that much. So what else would I do but perform for people and watch people grow, you know, watch the world grow. That seems to be the reason that I'm here.
So you're on the road and you're back to your hotel and you're like just hanging out, and are you inspired when you're in the middle of performing to write new songs? When does that come to you? What initiates that emotion and that feeling that when you just channel down, you know, a brilliant tune
What
or a
happens is
lyric?
when you're on the road, it's much more easy to be really creative. When you're home, there's too many problems going on.
Right.
Things are going on with your house. It's leaking. El Nino is ruining the beach. It's, you know, that's all happening. It's very hard to go to rehearsal and do all that and come home and find a moment to be creative. On the road, since we've been here in Hartford for 3 days, I have written a song since we've been here, and I'm really excited about it. So I left something in Los Angeles, and I left it all there and came here, and I have a clear mind, and everything is inspiring me. The guys inspire me, the girls inspire me, the music inspires me. It all inspires me. At home, I can't rise above everything else, but out here, I'm really open to being inspired, to being inspired.
And this is your whole life,
Yeah.
too. This is like,
Yeah.
it's encapsulated. There's no responsibilities outside
No,
of this.
there isn't any responsibility. It's a
And
very
that's-
great, easy way to live.
Yeah,
You know, you don't have to get phone calls about stuff that's going on that you don't want to talk about.
Right.
Because you can say, I have a show.
is that why it
I
was,
can't talk.
Is that why it was easy for you to segue right from doing the Fleetwood Mac
Yes.
thing right into this? You probably
Yes,
didn't want
I
it.
didn't
You
stop.
didn't want to stop, right?
I didn't stop. I didn't physically want to stop either because
Yeah.
I didn't want to go through what I had to go through to build up to doing this last year. So I didn't ever let the level drop. So I stayed pretty strong.
So besides just rehearsing, did you like put yourself on some kind of a major regime? Like, did you work out? Did you go on a special diet? What was going on?
I went on the treadmill.
You went on the treadmill?
From the week of the Grammys, a friend of mine had a very bad experience in a hospital and nearly died, and it scared me so bad that I have been on the treadmill almost every single day since.
Really?
Not for weight, not for the way I look, but for just in case something bad happens to me. If anything bad ever happens to me, that I can be strong enough to
Yeah.
fight back.
Right.
So that
Right.
has really changed my life. I've lost about 10 more pounds, which is totally groovy.
That's
But I
awesome.
didn't set out to do it, you know. I
Right.
did it really because I was going, I'm going to have to be stronger.
Yeah.
I
And
just
it
have
probably
to be
helps you like
stronger.
emotionally and
Yeah.
spiritually too, right?
Yeah.
It
Very
grounds
much,
you.
Very much.
It's incredible. I have a little gift for you for your birthday. I bought this when we did an MTV thing at Christmas time,
Right.
and we went out on the road, and,
Right.
to buy like gifts and stuff, and I never got a chance to give it to you, so it's turned into your birthday gift. And also, there's a tape in there of a song that you inspired.
Really?
That Mitch, my keyboard player, and I write. It's in my show, which you still haven't come to see. And here's a
Well,
birthday card.
you know, if I had one day off, I would come to see your show.
Well, I'm opening on Broadway in late October,
I'll be
so
there.
hopefully you'll
I'll
have
be
a
off the road
month
then,
off.
so
You'll
I will
come
be
and
there,
you'll
yes.
hang and you'll see
And
the show.
we're doing stormy weather again.
When,
and
do you
you'll
do-
have
when
the
is
baby.
when is it? In September,
It's
right?
in September.
Now talk about that a little bit, because that was like a whole different thing for you. It was the Don Henley, Walden Woods event, and we did songs
was-
from
wasn't it
40s, 30s.
The coolest thing.
It was beautiful.
I think it was maybe the coolest thing that I have done in 20 years. I felt the next day like something magic had happened to me.
Really?
I look at songs differently now. I listen to them differently. I sing. I pronounce each word more. I hold out my notes more, because when you're just singing this song and you're just standing there, there's not a thing in the world for you to do except stand there.
Right.
You have to be more, creative and animated.
And aware.
Yeah, and aware. I know these
That was
people
a
are going to
great
say I'm
night.
totally sweating, because I'm totally sweating. Shall I tell her the reason I don't like to open presents?
Why?
Because when I was 5 and a half, not 5 really, let's see, maybe, when I was 4, there was a Christmas, and I was the only grandchild. And I was like,
The princess.
yes. And I opened a room full of presents. And at the end of it, I looked around and said, well, is that all there is?
Oh!
Exactly, your song. Is that all there is?
It is kind of a letdown,
And
isn't
my
it?
mom and dad said, we have to have another child, because we can't live with this little girl. She is so, spoiled at this point. So I was told this story so many times that I feel bad about opening presents. So when people bring presents to my house, I don't open them. I just leave them sitting.
Well, you can open it,
So-
and you can have any reaction you want.
So we're opening
There's no-
Sandra's gift here.
Can you read it?
No,
Okay.
I'm farsighted, so I can't read it. You want to read it?
Sure, I'll
Okay,
read
you
it.
read it.
Dearest Stevie, like all beautiful dreams, this life is filled with landscapes, lovers, tender moments, sharp edges, crazy melodies. You are the weaver of so many incredible quilts. We look to you for inspiration and love divine. I wish for you the happiest and healthiest of birthdays forever and a day. It's a blessing to know you. Love, Sandra.
Thank you, honey.
I'll hold that for you. This is the other side of the mirror.
It's kind of a plum-colored daisy. Wait till you see the bust, which is this color.
Well, there you go. And you can actually
A
like,
daisy mirror
isn't that cute?
in
and
plum.
sweet?
It's fabulous. No, you're going to laugh when you see our new bust, that we ordered all these colors from across the United States
To decorate your bust?
to decorate the bust without seeing the bust or the things.
Has anybody ever written anything for you?
You have.
In your darkest hour. I used to play that in my car over. I just put it on rewind and listen to it over and over and over, that song. And
Thank you.
drive down the Ventura Freeway weeping.
I loved writing that song, and I wept.
Where
a
did you
lot
write that?
When I wrote that song. I wrote that song at my house in Phoenix on my Bosendorfer, my precious piano that I don't really get to spend that much time with. And I wrote it, do you want me to tell you why I wrote it?
Yeah.
Okay. When I was on the Wild Heart Tour, Joe Walsh was opening for us, and I fell in love with Joe. And I was having a hard time with the whole fame thing and the road and everything that was going on at that point. And we were in Denver, and Joe took me up to Boulder, Colorado, to see this little drinking fountain in this park that had belonged to his little girl who had been killed in a car crash on the way to nursery school.
Oh, man.
She was like 5. And I was so touched by this and how he had even managed to go on living after this happened. And it really destroyed everybody in his life. I mean, the loss of this child. And how sad it was. And this little drinking fountain that he made for her was her little, so that anybody that wasn't tall enough to get a drink could get a drink. And I said, you built this for her, right? You did this for her. So it touched me so much. And I thought, you don't have any problems, Stevie. You really don't
Wow.
have any idea what pain is.
That's intense.
And so I went home and wrote that song. The day I got there, I just walked in, sat down, and wrote it.
Well, the feeling is like it comes from some amazing well of emotion. I think it's probably my favorite song of yours.
Thank you. I'm really sweating again now.
Okay.
Yeah, let's wrap it up. It's late.
Eileen, you just can't be dumbing down on us during the interview.
Yeah, you're
Oh, am I getting it's kind of a bad lighting thing?
You speeding?
Are you speeding?
We're very slow, but
It's
we're
okay.
catching up with you. So what's next? You're going to tour the whole summer.
So yeah,
And then-
I come off the road in the middle of August.
Right.
And then I have a couple of benefits to do. We're going to do Don's Stormy Weather.
Up in San Francisco.
Right, up in San
Right.
Francisco. And I'm doing 2 other things. I don't know exactly what they are, but 2 other things that will kind of keep us together until then. And then I'm going to go and write my next record.
So it'll be your solo record.
Yeah, which is pretty much about half written. So I have about
Fabulous.
6 songs.
I bet by the
to
end
go.
of the summer you'll have
Yeah.
everything written and
I
then
will.
some.
I will.
And then what about Fleetwood Mac? Are you guys going to do another album? What do you think you're going to do with them?
I think that in my own heart, I think that Fleetwood Mac will. Okay, let me start this over.
Yeah.
In my heart, I think that we will take about a 2-year break. And I think that Christine will decide that maybe she's bored and maybe we should do this again.
Cool.
And the other 4 members really wanted to do this. We wanted to finish this, this circle of life that goes along with each album. We wanted to finish that. So, but we love Chris, and it's okay. When she decided that, there was nothing to say to her. You couldn't say you have to do this. She did what she said she would do. She fulfilled her commitment, and it was great. We couldn't make her do
Right,
anymore.
right.
So, but I think that it will be fine. If I didn't think it would ever get back together for one more thing,
Right.
I would feel really sad right now, and I don't feel sad.
So obviously.
She's moved off to London.
Yeah.
I would feel very upset about this, and I don't feel that way. So this, to me, is a good sign that it'll be okay.
That's beautiful. That's so great. I'm so glad that we got to sit and talk a little bit.
Well, anytime I'm in Hartford, drop by.
Now, I'm going to come visit you in Phoenix, because, I grew up in Phoenix as well.
Right. And it's beautiful there now. It's hot summer there.
It's a hot summer.
Yeah.
We'll see you in the fall.
Okay.
Love you.
All right.
Thanks, honey. Right on.
Okay. Are these her roses?
Beautiful. Sweet, sweet, sweet.
No, you have to come look at our bus. Is it exactly? You're going to
That's-
die.
that's
This is going to
so-
go on